Hello everyone and welcome back to the Lost Chapter Worlds 2021 special. I am Anifar, once again with One Ring Wraith to bring you everything that happened at quarterfinals.
The quarterfinals are over, and the weekend started with a very lackluster series between T1 and Hanwoo Life. Both teams had faced before in the LCK regional gauntlet, but it wasn't as one-sided as this series. T1 had already shown a major improvement over their form during the split, and their strength carried on as they cemented themselves as the tournament's favorite. Hanwoo Life faced the same issues as usual, when Chovy couldn't turn his individual leads into anything relevant over all three games. All in all, the series was remarkably uneventful, as T1 asserted their dominance through astounding macro play and laning. Everyone on T1 really stepped their game up for this matchup, but Kanan Carry specifically performed way above expectations, setting Gumayushi up for success. Next week they will be facing Damwon, and even though this will be a tough challenge, it's nothing that T1 can push through with luck and preparation.
The next day marked the classic clash of the LPL, Royal Never Give Up versus Edward Gaming. This encounter proved to be as epic as the legends foretold, going all the way to silver scrapes. It was filled with back and forth fights for power, but, in the end, only one could come out on top. And it was ZDG who, for the first time in the org's history, made it past quarterfinals. The entirety of the first four matches were marked by bloodbaths and epic teamfights, with excitement at every corner. Unfortunately for RNG, Cryan never seemed to find his footing with supportive champions, even if it forced an Annie ban by the end of the series. JJ just showed up stronger, both physically and mentally, as Wei couldn't keep up his good work from previous matches and ended up costing their team safe passage. Edward Gaming become, therefore, the only LPL team still in the run, as they are poised to take down GenG next weekend, ensuring an LPL vs LCK finals.
The day finally arrived where Mad Lions would have to prove themselves on the biggest stage, yet against the toughest opponent in the competition, Damwon Kia. Expectations weren't very high for the young Felon team after the group stage, but revenge was still to be sought after the 3-2 at MSI. Damwon, however, didn't come to play, and Matt couldn't even breathe for a second throughout the series. The Korean #1 seed absolutely smashed their European counterpart, leaving little to no room for the Mad Lions to shine. Still, Europe's last hope put up a good fight, but unfortunately the odds were stacked against them, as Ken kept his performance from groups and managed to peak match after match. Next week DK will put up against T1, and with the form that both teams find themselves in, it is sure to be a banger. They are clear favorites, but anything can happen on the world stage.
Last, and by far the least, we've had GenG Esports versus Cloud9. And even though this was the lowest level quarterfinals of the bunch, that just made everyone think that anything could happen. However, that wasn't quite the case, as Cloud9 tore at the seams and didn't seem to be as well prepared as Gen were. The highlight of the series goes to Clid, as the now veteran jungler showed shadows of his former self at SKT, dominating early games, capitalizing on a star mid laner, and exposing Cloud9's weaknesses. Even if GenG struggled a little bit with closing games out, they were dominant through and through. Coming into semis, they will be assigned with the task of taking down the last remnant of Chinese presence in EDG, and being clear underdogs, they'll need any kind of miracle to actually pull through. This was the Worlds 2021 quarterfinals special for the Lost Chapter, and we'll be back next week with more games.
Once again, I've been One Ring Wraith together with Anifar, and this was the Lost Chapter Worlds 2021 special.